Welcome to another video right here on FE Builds. This is Optimus, the Jimny JB74, the blue Jimny of FE Builds. And we've had an awesome and amazing experience doing this build. And we started off with the Ironman suspension, and we learned exactly where we are within this community, what we love to do with this vehicle. And slowly the suspension sort of evolved. We realized that we were pushing the Ironmans to the limits. We were pushing them beyond what they were designed or intended to do. And we realized that we needed a shock absorber that was much more capable in terms of adjustments and refining the experience. And a shock absorber which would increase the handling even more. Not that the Ironmans aren't good, they are good for regular use, but when it comes to certain cases, you need a certain system. So we upgraded to the Ominix. And in the process of upgrading to the Ominix, we got the 3 to 4 inch lift or extension Ominix, because the springs that we got with our Ironman kit were the heavy duty springs, and the lift that we were measuring after the car settled, after the 500 kilometer drive, was about 70 mil, 77 mil, somewhere there. And we realized due to that also, the Ironman shocks that were combined with those springs were quite short, and they were topping out quite a lot, especially when the car hits a bump and sort of goes up slightly, they would top out. So we realized we need to change the shocks. Once we changed to the Ominix, we realized that these Ironman springs were a bit too hard, and they are designed for a Jimny that's carrying a lot of weight. And along our journey, we realized that, this car has a certain weight that it should carry. And the moment you go above and exceed that weight, then you start to lose power drastically. And then you need to start investing in things like turbos and aftermarket products that improve performance that may affect your warranty, may or may not, depending on the dealership that you go to or where you get it done. So we installed the Tough Dog medium strength springs, 80 mil lift, and everything was going good. It was awesome. It was wonderful. So we did everything to the suspension that needed to be done, except for the stabilizer bar. It's something that can so easily be overlooked if you are new to this whole ball game of a solid axle at the front and a solid axle at the back. With our previous builds that we haven't published yet, we've worked with IFS at the front and a solid axle at the back. So the stabilizer bars and everything that we got and the lifts that we did were within certain limits. With this one, we've gone now for the 80 mil lift, and the car is actually sitting quite high and it performs really well. But in one of our previous videos, when we were at the 4x4 track at Ford, we were going through the axle twisters, and just at the beginning of the track, there's a loud snapping sound, or a sound that came from the left-hand side. And what happened basically is the sway bar inverted. And the reason why is with this lift of 80 mil, basically 50 mil and above, the sway bar gets a bit distorted. And when you go over axle twisters and things like that, there's a modification that needs to be done to the sway bar to accommodate for the higher lift. So we purchased that modification, and we're going to be installing that today. We've got the Showa extension brackets that basically lower the sway bar by 25 mils. And we've also got the short link arms, and I've got them right here. These are the Showa Garage brackets that lower the stabilizer bar by 25 mils. And in the instructions, it actually says over here, I'll just pick this up. It says, when the short stabilizer link is used, it's compatible with vehicles with a 75mm lift and up. So we've got the short stabilizer links over here, and we'll be installing those too. So I've got the Showa brackets and the short links that we're going to put in, and we're going to do it down to spec. I've got my proper torque wrench over here. So let's get into it. Let's actually do this job. We're gonna start by just disconnecting the two link arms on both sides. Take out the original ones, keep them as spares as usual. That's what I love to do. And we'll put these new ones in, and it's going to be awesome. Okay, so I took out the stabilizer bar and I actually examined it quite close for any cracks or any bends or anything that's wrong with it, and actually looks quite good. Luckily we never broke it. On the day there were some people putting the idea in my mind that I've most probably snapped the stabilizer bar, but luckily that did not happen. Okay, so in my hand over there is a long link, and right there we have the shorter link. We're gonna add some blue Loctite to those bolts, and we're gonna put it in, and we're gonna center the stabilizer bar and put the links in, and we're gonna torque those down to 50 Newton meters of torque. That's 23 Newton meters of torque. Like I said, we're gonna go diagonal. Three Newton meters of torque. And finally the last bolt. Three. Let's set the torque wrench to 50 Newton meters of torque. Okay. That's 50 Newton meters of torque, literally. Feels like I haven't even done anything. Okay, so we're putting on the other side. Stop one needs to still be tightened. And it says that's 50. Check that once again. 50. So that 50 should be on point, but just for safety's sake, I will still get it checked with a friend of mine who's got a really good torque wrench. So that is the after angle that it's at. You saw the before angle. I'll zoom in on the other side. So it's a corrected angle. The previous angle, when it was stretched out, was sort of leaning outwards. Okay, so like I said, because of the 80mm lift, the stabilizer bar needs a correction kit to be installed, and that involves the 25mm spacers that drop the sway bar down by 25mm on both sides, and it also requires the short links which we've put on both sides and torque down to 50 Newton meters of torque, which Showa recommends in their manual, and also it's the same amount of torque that's recommended in the Suzuki service manual. So these bolts here, I believe, are torqued to the Suzuki service manual, and that's about 23 Newton meters of torque. Might be 23, 25, but we've put some Loctite in there so that it's tight. So hopefully this fixes all our problems. We're going to go do a test at some stage, and I will post a video regarding that. But for now, this is the whole install. Thank you for watching, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. If this video has helped you, like, share, and yeah, just help us grow the channel so we can continue doing things like this. Have a good one. Cheers.